Hey team, how's life? That close, I'm not screaming at the neighbors down there.
Life has been good.
Thank you for your perpetual and honest participation. I can always count on you to respond.
There you go.
What's the weather like down south?
Couldn't hear you.
What's the weather like down there?
Oh, weather's actually really nice. It's a beautiful day outside.
Sweet. I think we're dealing with yesterday. It's cold in the morning, but beautiful in the afternoon. I'm usually stuck in an office, so I get reports. I get weather reports from people coming in. It's so gorgeous out. It's great.
Yeah, it was very cold this morning. Took my granddaughter to school this morning. It was 46 degrees out in Oakview.
46. Well, I guess that's not too bad, actually. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. All right, what time have we got? We're at 12 o'clock. We'll give it a couple more minutes as we wait for the
Hey, Jay, real quick, since I got you on here, just so you know, the email that got sent out the other day, the link to get into this meeting didn't work. Don and I were on it and there was nobody there, and I went to a different link. So that could be part of the problem why a lot of people are not here.
the link that was emailed out was incorrect or texted out.
Yes.
Oh, okay. We'll have to get to the bottom of that. Let me.
Both Don and I clicked on it, and her and I were the only ones on it. But
This was earlier today.
than what we just went on here.
Okay. And did you get that via text or email?
This wrong email on Monday.
Okay. The Monday email that went out didn't have the correct Zoom link for today's meeting. That's what I'm hearing.
Change.
I don't think it's changed, but go to our account. Go see if it changed in the calendar.
Okay.
Because the one in the calendar is what I locked it to. Thanks, Martin.
Sure.
Calendar worked fine for me.
The calendar one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just the email and the calendar links are different because I
That's
use the email and I was there all by myself singing that song all by myself.
Don't
I
wanna
keep
be.
singing, I'm gonna be by myself the rest of my life.
Even the dogs are leaving the room. I'm just kidding. How are you, Don?
Good, how are you?
I'm phenomenal. Marissa's going to resend the email out here, but in the essence of time, these are all recorded, obviously, and we can point people back to, because today we're talking about stats, about what's happening in the marketplace. It's kind of I think if we're posting to be or wanting to be the economists of choice for our clients, it's imperative that we know what the numbers are. And so that's why I think this meeting is one of the more important meetings to attend, in my personal opinion. Let me get the camera where it's supposed to be here. Is it working? I don't even see it. Hold up. All right, gang, bear with me. Oh, I don't see it. Maybe it's not even working. Well. Okay. All right, gang. I think we're going to just roll with it, knowing that we might have had a little bit of disconnect in the old whatchamacallit email. Thanks for letting me know that, Martin, Don. I appreciate that. All right, gang. So let's get after it then. Let's get after it. So let's start with an inspirational quote here from Tony Robbins. Every problem is a gift, although it might not seem that way. Without problems, we wouldn't grow. I'd say problems is a phrase I don't know that I would use. Thank you for that, Tony Robbins. But I think everything that we run up against, it's a challenge we might not yet have overcome. And that's how I would define the problem, the challenge that I've not yet overcome. And it's only going to beat us if we give up. So sometimes it's also okay to step out of the way. This isn't a battle that's one I want to fight, and just move on to things that are going to be better for you as an individual, professional, personal. So we'll leave it off with Tony Robbins there. Every problem is a gift. Without problems, we wouldn't grow. All right, gang, make our way through here.
Apparently the camera's on the ceiling and they can't see.
Still?
She just called.
I don't even see it.
I can see you
Okay, there we go. All right, team. All right, bingo. All right, let's some of our first here. Jordan Knauer, congratulations on your first closing with KW. Not his first closing. The guy's closing all kinds of stuff. He's with Hal and Hal's team, but his first with Keller Williams, which leads us to Graham. Also closed his first deal last week. No surprise that Hal Swayze is also on this list. They've been with us for 2 weeks and already closing deals. So congratulations, guys. Look forward to working with you and many more to come. Let's congratulate Stacy Kenny on cap. And Stacy, you're at 100% of your commission. Congratulations on that. Make you know what I'm going to challenge everybody to do? That money that you are paying Keller Williams, put it off to the side. Use it to invest in real estate. You guys are in a business where you should be walking into the house. The first thing you should be asking yourself, can I buy this house? If not, should I list this house? Do I want to work with this seller? And if not, should I refer this to somebody that might want to work with them? But always keep in mind that we're in the business of real estate, and I guarantee you that 90% of your potential wealth will come from owning, not selling. But congratulations, Stacy. More money in your pocket for investing in real estate. I want to thank then some of our people that are helping support escrow. JD Koo opened escrow last week. Congratulate JD Koo and Bailey, Nancy Pewter, Hal Swayze, and Molly Landon. Thanks, guys, for supporting. Congratulations. And last week we had a number of closings. Shannon closed 2 deals. Bruce Carson closed 1. Veronica closed 1. The Keenan Carter Group closed 1. Congratulations, everybody. I love watching those checks. I love signing those checks as Beverly brings them into the office, because I know the people that are in my care are making money, and it makes me feel great to see you guys win. So congratulations, you guys. Congratulations. All right, 52 points of culture. I'm going to go super simple today, and that is, what was it here? The speaking without profanity. That seems kind of simple, right? I was watching, if you guys, Netflix was this, a Reacher. Jeff Landon recommended it to me. It's an intense show. It's on Amazon. But a line came out of there. Profanity expresses, it's an expression of unintelligence and lack of character. And so I say that because I oftentimes will use profanity to get my point across. Not when I'm in the office, but I guess I should take a second look at that. And so simple point culture, refrain from profanity. It decreases the perception of intellect, according to Reacher. All right, gang. First Friday's coming up, April 1st at Blast in Brew. Holy smokes, yes, that's April Fool, but this is no joke. The Blast in Brew they've got great food. It's a fun environment. We kind of take over a little corner in the bar space, but there's shuffleboard and cornhole and indoor. It's all indoors, so it's nice and warm. It's a great place to be. Come join us April 1st from 5 to 7. It's a lot of fun. A lot of the staff's there. A lot of the agents are there. So we look forward to seeing everybody on Friday. All right. But before Friday, which is April 1st, so we're not talking this Friday, but 2 Fridays from now, we've got a party in-house tomorrow. And you're all invited. St. Patrick's Day. We're doing corned beef, cabbage, new potatoes, beers, mustards. It's going to be a blast. Traditional Irish fare to celebrate the heritage of the Irish families in our community. And come up. We've got we'll have big chafing dishes, and we're just going to keep bringing food out till it's all gone. So come on down. That's in Pismo tomorrow, and we're let's see, are the times on there? Time at 1 o'clock. So from 1 o'clock until the food's gone, we'll be here hanging out. Come join us tomorrow, which is the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. All right, gang, let's go on to the stats. Reason why we're all here today. There has been a lot of questions around the stats and what stats are we pulling. We've got dates, days on market, and so Chris is going to jump on and explain to everybody that's here where we're getting the information, what information we're providing, so that you can talk intelligently to your clients and your consumers about what information you're dispelling, And if you want some microclimate information, let's say you just want condos in a specific area, she's going to show you right now how to do that. So with no further ado, Krista, you want to take it away? I'm sure you have authorization or what do they call it? Hosting authority there?
Yep, I am getting there, Jay.
Okay.
All right, can you guys see my screen?
Sure can.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right, well, everybody should be familiar with this screen. This is where we go for our CR MLS. This happens to be Pismo Coast. I know North County is going to be different, and Santa Maria is going to be different, and SLO is going to be different, but you just go right on in here. There's 2 locations that I go to pull our stats. I go just into the matrix right here, and then I also go into this InfoSparks. Everybody has access to these 2 locations. So first I'm going to go into the matrix, which I already have pulled up right here. Okay. So you just click on this. Gets you to a very familiar area. This is where we would search the MLS. And there is stats right up here. Does everybody see this? Right next to roster, stats. We just click on that and we go into this huge database, and we can search so many different types, but we've made it super simple with our stats. Okay. What we do is we do residential and we do single family. That's it. That's what we search when we do our stats. There's so many other things. If you wanted to click more than one, you would just hold your shift key down, just like you would in, you know, other platforms. Or if you want to skip one and go down to manufactured and park, you hold your control key down. Anything you put blue, that's what it's going to search. And then you just come right on over here and you tell it where to go. So for instance, San Luis Obispo. Now, most of you should know that San Luis Obispo also includes Avila Beach. So we're also going to include Avila in that. All right, so we've set our parameters. It's going to tell us, oh, it didn't pull up San Luis. Hold on. I do Avila. And if I was smart before I started this, I would have just put San Luis Obispo County here, so it would only give us available in San Luis. San Luis. Okay, so San Luis City and Avila Beach, and it'll tell you down here what we've got going on. Okay, so once you do that, you can go ahead and generate, okay? But what I want to show you guys, this is really nifty. You can do presets. When you go into here, you're only going to see these system presets right here. And you can change all of those by customizing. But what you can do is when you pull up your first search, okay, you can save it as a preset. And these are all my saves down here. So I have North County days on market, and I've got all the residential condos, apartments, so on and so forth. And then I've also got North County residential and SFR only. That's what I use for the stats for the office. And so I'm just going to generate right here and show you how that works. I click use search criteria saved because I made it a preset. Okay. And it's just going to pull it up. All right. Now, if I want to change anything at this time, and it'll tell you down at the bottom here, I've used residential and I've used single family residence. Okay. Now you can change this by going into customize, and that's how I made my presets. So right here, we're going to do February to February because it'll pull up January. Okay, now it's February to February. We can change from this smooth line. We can make it into just a line. And so it's, well, it already was a line. We can make this a line instead of a column. You can change the colors. So here we've got just 2 lines. You can go down here in style options and you can change all the colors. I've got it set to fire, which is the red. And then you can also do 3D if you want. Okay. You can go in here and generate a 3D. There you go. There's so many things that you can do with this, and it's absolutely free, and it's in MLS. And it will pull up every month that's closed out already. So we can't pull March yet until the end of March. But once you do this, see this save button right here? You save it and you name it. Once you name it, that will be in your preset forever. And you can save several different copies of it and keep renaming it. Okay, so that's how we do. Oh, and also I want to show you this. If you're not really sure where this number is landing right here, it looks like maybe it's in like the 20 range. If you click on data, it will take you to the actual data, and you scroll down to February. And so it was 20 and it was 1,135,000. So you can get your data here, or you can get your chart, or you can go back to search and change something. Okay, so that's how we do our stats for on the left-hand side of each of our stat slide. We have 4 different parameters, and we've got the days on market and the median sales price, which is what we pull up with these presets. Okay, and then I go back to the Pismo Coast dashboard here, and I click on InfoSparks. And on InfoSparks, you can pull up all the rest of the data on that left-hand side, which is price per square foot and active listings. And all you need to do here is, instead of searching the whole entire MLS, you can search by city, county, association. So for instance, if I want San Luis Obispo, and let's make sure to remember to add Avila to this. We'll pick city because Avila is part of San Luis. Avila Beach. Okay, it's going to give me, see right here, we've got active listings, 27 in San Luis and 9 in Avila. And that's as of the end of February. And then if we go to price per square foot, obviously there's a huge difference because Avila Beach, the sales prices are higher. But what I do is I add $4.99 and $12.58, and I divide by 2, and I get the average. Similar to South County, I'm going to have 5 different cities in South County. I'm going to add all those up, divide by 5, and that's how we get our average for price per square foot. And then I would just add all the listings together. And so that's how we do our slides. We get 2 bits of information from InfoSparks, and then we get the other 2 bits of information from the stats within the MLS platform. Does anybody have any questions on that? I know I went kind of fast, but you can play around with it.
It's a great tool. And Kristen, thanks for taking the time to show us how you go about that information. Rest assured, everyone, we're going to grab the stats. We just want you to know where they're coming from and what they are. The stats are just single family residents and in the cities that are focused, the focus group. We're going to be putting the information that Krista mentioned at the bottom, on the bottom of our stats going forward. So when after today's presentation, you'll get a MailChimp email that'll take you to a link so that you can get all of these documents. You don't have to recreate these specifically. You can just cut and paste and use. You can convert them from a PDF to a Word doc and get rid of the market snapshots and put your branding in there. You can alter them and use them however you want. It's just a tool to help you become the economist of choice in the real estate arena for your sphere of influence. And if you need to be more specific, that's why Krista came on today, is to show you how to use that tool so that you can get, like, say you just want Avila specific, you know, there's one of the 3 properties that sold there, or 9 properties that sold last month. You want to be the expert in Avila. Now you have the tools to go in and create that data for yourself. Or you want to be the condo king or queen. You want to just know condo prices and values. You've got the ability to do that now. So use the tool, it's there for you, and then it's easily integrated into the KW Command, into the listing presentation portion of Command and Designs. So it's super easy to use and get into. So I hope you guys all take advantage of that. And if you have any questions, you know where to go. All right, let's take a look at what we got going. Let's take a look at North County in particular. All right, so North County, we've got a camera that isn't working. So we'll just zoom this thing over. There we go. Is that working? Candace, are you back there? Are you in charge?
I am. I'm on now and getting you centered.
I'll let you take it. All right. So February snapshots. Again, this is just closing out the month of February. in North County. I want you guys to take a look at something. Let's talk about this first. The median price year over year is up 20%. Like that is breakneck speed. A healthy market is 5 to 7. This is 20% up since February of last year. I want you to look at the days on market roughly since June of last year. Days on market have been going up. If you were to average all these out, days on market are going up as the prices are going up. You can kind of see some reflection in that. As the prices come down or prices go up, so do the days on market. Now days on market, what, 29 days as opposed to 4, which I think it was a few months ago. So not 4, but in Paso, but in October, days on the market were under 20. So whereas, I don't think I've been with Keller Williams here now for 7 years. We have not seen anything but a seller's market, but this is truly indicative of something that's kind of crazy, as opposed to looking at, let's say, 2021, March of 2021, the days on the market were way up there. So we're going to see a big increase in values and decrease in days on market year over year. That's North County. Let's make our way down to this. I think we're seeing it. Coast is up next. Oh no, let's talk about the number of properties that sold. There are only 111 properties that sold in North County. Like in a normal market, there's 300. So we're literally a third of what we would have normally closed. And we're really shy on the year total. January of last year, we sold 156. We only sold 82 this January, 150 last year in February, 111. The number of sales is coming up, and I'll tell you this: January and February across the entire county was truly a winter. The winter in real estate is November, December, January, February. It's 4 months, and spring has sprung. I'm telling you, we are in an incredible position with listings and closings, and we're projecting company dollar to start participating in profit share. It's going to be a great month, and that's indicative of the entire market. Now, I also want to share something that's specific to our office, our market center. Terradatum is a company that we get a lot of data from. They pull it from the MLS, extrapolate it. They compare the state of California, the local area, which is our MLS, basically from Paso to Santa Maria. They have our numbers. They compare us to everybody else, including the MLS. And Keller Williams, we look at our closings as the past, right? Our contracts as our present, and listings as our future. And we are on par with MLS for the closings and for the contracts written. We're outperforming the MLS by about 5 points. We are outperforming the MLS by 97% in listings taken. 97%. And what's interesting about that, so that's a ridiculous number. We've got almost 100% more business than the MLS, and our numbers are in the MLS. Think about that for a second. So when you go on a listing appointment and you're talking to a buyer, like we've got 100% more listings than the current MLS. So our future is looking bright, spectacularly bright. So that's North County information for you. All right, let's make our way then to the Scenic Coast, because Scenic Coast, same trend. Look at this. November, if you were to just draw a straight line, average out the months from November up, days on the market have been going up. Granted, 46 days on the market is not a buyer's market by any means. It's still a seller's market. But I want you to look at the prices. We went from 866 to 940 to 985 to $1.8 million, 1.08. So the prices are going up, days on the market are going up, and those things are trend. That's a trend that tells us that what's going to happen up here is things get. You'll see in San Luis what that looks like in South County. 26% year over year. We only had, a few sales in the Scenic Coast. How many sales were there? 53. I'm sorry, 61. So when you've got a small number of properties selling like that, one property can have a huge effect, but up 26% year over year is a substantial number, substantial. So if you're working with sellers, like, holy crap, today the market is up 26% year over year. Is that sustainable? Like we know some things that are really indicative of today's market. Like we've got Proposition 19 that went into effect in April. We've got transfer of wealth, $65 trillion over the next 20 years. We've got supply and demand. We've got people moving here from all over the country. So there's things here that are continuing to keep our prices up. But when you're talking to a seller, 26%, we're probably not going to get 26% next year. Who knows? Like there's no crystal ball. 61 properties sold in February on the Scenic Coast. And the Scenic Coast includes Morro Bay, Cayucos, Los Osos, and Cambria. Taking a look at South County. This is what I was talking about. We're kind of bobbling up in an area. We don't have these huge swings, because we got more property that sells down here regularly now, almost at what North County was last year. North County has always been the juggernaut in units sold. Value-wise, a little bit different down in South County, but we're actually up to par with Paso, or I should say Paso's come down to our par. But again, looking at the days on, if you were to average out the days on market from June of last year, we've gone up in days on market. The area itself has only gone up 12%, which is way more sustainable. And that tells me that we are probably bobbling around at the top of a market. Right? Does that make sense to everybody? When we've got 26% swings in Paso, it's because the market is off the rails. In the South County, we've been at a high water mark for a while, and we're kind of bobbling around the top. 12% increase in this market is absolutely healthy. With Prop 19, supply and demand, transfer of wealth. So all of those things give us a market, I think, that is entirely sustainable. And our average or median price here is 852. Days on the market are a month, which it's kind of been between a month and I think a buyer's market, it doesn't switch until we have properties on the market for 6 months or more, which I've never seen. So we're always going to be in a seller's market. But 91 properties sold, so not a huge growth. 111 in North County, which there's usually twice as many in South County. So we're almost on par, like 12 property, what is it, 20 property difference? Not even that. Yeah. So that's South County. And the one thing we're missing, I think, is San Luis. We'll talk about that next. But then 95 properties sold, and then we'll jump into San Luis proper. San Luis has the fewest number of properties sold, 38, but they've been on the market for less than 25 days. And this is a different trend. Look at the trend line since June. Like properties, actually days on the market are going down, even with a massive spike in price. Median price today, $1.167 million for a property in San Luis. And if you look at the trend, the days on market are going down. So San Luis it's kind of a unique situation. San Luis proper, there's university, they've got almost 100% occupancy. They call it 99.8% because they can't call it 100%, but there's never a property not rented because of the university. Up 22% since last year. Again, that's that same story. Like, what do we tell our sellers? Like, we're at a breakneck speed. We don't know how long this is going to last. These are the three things we do know, right? Prop 19, price availability, price is driven by demand and availability, and transfer of wealth. So all those things are continuing to raise our prices, but let's be prudent as our days on the market now maybe start spiking up. We'll see. We might end up with something where we're bobbling around more at the top, but the top being $1 million. $1 million, 947, 925, $1.2 million, $1.1 million. So San Luis is an incredibly elevated market, but only 38 properties selling. Well, that's currently on the market. How many sold last month? 42. So if you're only working in San Luis, that's a tight market. That's a tight market. With 600 agents working in San Luis, there's only 42 of them that got paid. So if you're San Luis focused and you're not in multifamily or commercial, I would look outside of the San Luis market area to make sure you're grasping everything that you can in all your clients that you can help. So those are the stats that we're pulling. I think that's all we have for stats. So know that they'll be emailed to you either a link, you'll get the link to the shared drive where you can pull all of the documents that you're looking for, and you can edit them, download them as a Word doc, and you can get there and edit them however you want. So I hope that's helpful for you, and know that now you have the tool to be able to grab that data for yourself if you want something that's different than what we're providing for you. All right. Thank you, Krista, for putting all those together. All right, gang, what's going on? Dawn, tell us what's happening in mortgage world.
Hello, my Keller Williams family. Mortgage world is still good if you want to compare it to some other years, but if we compare it to the last couple of years, it is up significantly. So it's very interesting, Jay, as I listen to how you're advising everyone how the days on market is changing. This may have an impact also. Rates are averaging on a 30-year fixed about 4.5%. That's for conventional and jumbo. And our government rates are all the way up to almost 4%, about 3.75, 3.875 for our government loans. The Fed funds was approved to be increased by 1/4 point. We haven't seen an increase. I think it's been, I want to say maybe 2018 was the last time
That's
we'd
exactly
seen.
it.
Yeah, when we had seen them increase the rates. We're probably going to see an impact on mortgage rates, credit cards, all those things. We're gonna see some costs go up a little bit. So I think if any seller is on the fence or has been on the fence about listing their property, now is a great time. Price it right. They need to listen to you all as the good counselors, how to price a property, and they need to get it on the market. But that's all I have. I'm trying to think if I have any good news. Good news is rates are still below double digits. So-
All right, that's good. And you know what? And there was something that I was reading not that long ago about the last time we went into double digits, and that was, or the last time we had a crazy world experience was the fuel embargo of the 70s.
Right.
And
Right.
and what's happening now? Like we're and to give everybody some perspective on what that means, there's a correlation between barrel prices and interest rates. Whether you look at it or not, if you look at whether you believe it or not, you look at the trends. There's a parallel there, and we only use. I mean, so there's an embargo, right? We're not getting any oil from Russia. We only use 4% of the oil that comes out of Russia. But you got to think of oil as a world commodity. Europe gets a majority of their oil from Russia, or a much larger percentage. So when that's all cut off, OPEC, the next biggest, the largest oil producing area in the world or group in the world, now there's supply and demand. Russia, all of Europe has a higher demand, and so the oil prices have gone up for the world, and we're a world consumer. So it doesn't necessarily like we're not using Russia's oil. Why are gas prices so high? The government's screwing us. Like that's not that. It's like we're a global buyer of a product that is being increased because demand has decreased. I mean, the supply has decreased, so the demand has gone up. And so we're not going to see that change anytime soon. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So thanks, Don, for that. Martin, Ron, you guys want to add anything today?
I've got something along the lines of interest rates, and I know Martin has a separate topic. So let me just piggyback on what Dawn had to say. When she left off, she was wishing she had some good news. I know we're all looking for some good news. I've got a little wrinkle that might provide some relief for your buyers out there. And in these times of rising interest rates, we look back on tools that mortgage lenders use. And I remember using these in the 2000s and the late 90s. And this, what I'm talking about is an adjustable rate mortgage. Instead of the conforming or the conventional 30-year fixed mortgage that we all think of now, perhaps there are buyers out there that would be interested in a lower interest rate that was not fixed for 30 years in time, but was fixed for a certain amount of time, 3 years, 5, 7, or 10 years. The average homeowner sells their home within 7 years. So if you look at something that is fixed for a 7-year period of time or a 10-year period of time, you could save a 0.5 percentage point. So you're looking at 4% instead of 4.5%. You're lowering your interest rate, you're lowering your payment, you're taking somewhat of a gamble that you'll either sell the house or be able to refi, or that when it does adjust, it won't hurt as bad as it could possibly adjust. And there's guardrails on those parameters. But the adjustable rate mortgage is something that I think that we're going to be talking about and looking at in the near future to ease some pain.
Gotcha. And you know what, Ron, to that point, for those that hear the word adjustable rate mortgage, they cringe like, oh my God, is this 2006 all over again? 2006 was reverse amortizing loans that were nightmares that actually put people in homes that they couldn't afford, and their balance was actually growing. The shorter than 30-year time period, the non-conventional funding that Ron's talking about is used widely in commercial real estate. In fact, I don't think I've gotten a commercial loan ever that was anything longer than 10 years because the banks just don't want their money tied up that long. And so it's not a foreign concept. It might be a little foreign for residential resale agents, might be a little bit foreign for residential buyers if they haven't been in the finance commercial world or and like buying homes in the past 12 years. So it's not new to the industry. It is not something that I would be immediately concerned about. If we start talking about reverse amortizing loans and crazy stuff like that, then we're going to it'll be a much different conversation.
Yeah, good point.
All right. Thank you for that, Ron. Martin, what you got for us?
Actually, I got a quick topic if I can bring it up. So I actually had something I was going to talk about, but interestingly enough, about 15 minutes before this meeting started, I got a phone call from a realtor working with another lender, having a termite issue on a property. Their scheduled close of escrow is supposed to be next Wednesday, the 23rd. And they're now finding out the termite company can't even get out there to even start the work until the 25th. And now because of all of that, having to delay the close of their escrow to possibly the 31st of the month. So obviously neither buyer or seller are very happy with all of this. So she's calling me to ask, what do we do? How can we deal with this? How can we still close our escrow on time? So I suggested that it is a conventional loan, it's not VA. So termite technically is not required, even though it's part of the contract. Once a lender sees the contract and sees that termites part of the deal, they're going to ask for a copy of the termite report and condition for all of the work to be completed prior to the close of escrow. But I explained that it is possible that you can do an amendment to the contract, getting rid of or waiving the termite work, buyer and seller hereby agree, and that you can still move forward to close the escrow. However, buyer and seller still want termite to be done, or the buyer does, and the seller has already agreed to pay for all of the work to be done. So I said, no problem. You can still close your escrow on the 23rd. Let the termite company go out on the 25th and start their work. You can still pay for everything. However, you cannot pay for it through the escrow. That's the important part of all of this. So it's really important to know that if you're having any issues with regard to termite and you're having some delays because of it, if buyer and seller agree to remove everything from the contract and somebody has already agreed to pay for it, just remember that it still can be done after the close, as long as nothing is being paid for through the escrow. So if you have any questions about that, just let us know. We're obviously always here to help, but there are ways to circumvent some of these issues that may be coming up so we don't have any delays in the closings of your escrow, and still making sure that everything's okay as far as the lender is concerned too. And very important, anytime there is termite, do not send the termite report to escrow or to the lender until you know when the work can be completed. Because once underwriting sees that report, it could become a challenge to have that now pulled from the file. So very important, and obviously using Dawn or Ron or myself, we're going to know not to send any of this stuff to underwriting until we know when that work's going to be completed as well. But again, keeping everything outside of escrow, paying for it outside of escrow can be done, and you can circumvent having to deal with any delays by still closing on time. So hope that helps everybody. We're always here to help. And thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be here. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Martin, Don, and Ron. And yeah, so to your point, Martin, you're talking about a legal binding contract between two parties just doesn't end up in escrow. Yeah, just so you guys know that. And that can happen. That happens all the time on things that just don't need to be in escrow. Okay, let's move, team. We're going to go on to the broker of record and broker designee, Troy and CV. What's going on, guys?
Hey, how are you guys doing? You guys having crazy fun? Hey, I want to go over. Yeah, it's just a wild and crazy fun day. Come over here, CV. There we go. All right. Yeah, we're sitting down for it. I hope you guys are all sitting down because we're going to give you some big news today. One, where do you get listings right now? Guys, listings are it, right? I mean, that's like, if you got a listing, you got two slices of the pie, is the way CB likes to describe it. Okay, so the listings, where are we getting listings? Well, I'm going to tell you right now that where I've gotten maybe 7-8 listings so far this year is from my database of property management, property owners, people that want to do 1031 exchanges. So fortunately, you have the 1031 exchange expert, JP, in your market center right there, available to you. Get the basics down of LTVV, of what he's talked about. He's done it in this meeting, but just the basics is all you need to be able to share with people how they can do a 1031 exchange, the basics. You're right. The other way that you're going to find listings in this market right now is for sale by owners. Okay, for sale by owners. Now here's the key. For sale by owners that have not sold, because they're just less likely to sell, by the way, even in this market. They're putting a sign out there. Make sure you ask them, hey, why are you selling it yourself? Well, to save commission, of course. And that's why they already priced it way too high. Even in this market, you can price something way too high and they're not getting qualified buyers. They're having all the same frustrations that every other FSBO has. So here's the tips and pointers. One, going on a FSBO appointment, do not go unprepared. They want to talk about pricing. So you got to let them know. Listen, I went on a FSBO listing appointment yesterday. Let the seller know, listen, your price is about 50,000 too high in this market. Now we might get up close to it. But not if we start there. Okay, that's the top of the market. We need to start lower, then we'll get multiple offers. Number two, they want to talk about your commission because that's what they're trying to save, right? So if you don't know the commission handlers, the objection handlers for commission, you should be going to scripts and role playing and learning those. We've got lots of them in our resources. And three, they want to see a net sheet. What am I taking home at the end of the day if I use you as my agent? Okay, if you can answer these questions, then you'll get a comment like I got yesterday, and that is, you know what? I'm going with you as soon as I list my house because you're the only agent who came prepared for this appointment. In other words, I came to tell them the three things they want to know: pricing, commission, and net to them. So be prepared, be professional, and go out and get those listings, guys. FSBOs, by the way, even though they seem daunting right now because it does seem like they can sell without an agent, FSBOs are actually advertising that they need an agent, okay? Or that they want to sell their house. They're letting you know, I want to sell my house. They just don't know what they don't know, all right? Something else
Can I bring up one more thing before we move on to that? And that is, what is the point in saving a commission if you're going to lose it all in a lawsuit because you don't know what you're doing?
Right. There you go. That's an objection handler commission.
The commission is X, and the reality is that if you're not using, maybe they're versed in contract law. I don't know, Mr. Seller, are you versed in contract law? Do you know that I do for a living such that I keep all of my clients to the best of my ability out of harm's way? The worst thing I want to have happen to you, Mr. Seller, is for you to find a buyer that's represented themselves and is astute in the laws of real estate. You go into contract, for some reason, you're not fulfilling the requirements by the state. He closes escrow because he's intending to sue you anyway. And then you lose all of the profit that you got, not just the commission that you paid, but all of the profit that you made. That's what I'm here for today, to help protect you from people that are trying to take advantage of for sale by owners, because that's happening all over the state.
Right. That's right. Now, and you want to be asking questions like, if someone makes an offer on your property, how do you plan on getting them pre-qualified and knowing if they can even perform?
Great question.
Right? Because we work with Motif Mortgage, and Motif Mortgage will get them pre-qualified. We don't have to ask them the hard questions, but we want to see a pre-qualification letter before we go accepting any offer, don't we? That's a tie down, by the way. Don't we, Mr. and Mrs. Seller? Right? Yes, we do. Okay. So when you list with me, I'm going to make sure that people are pre-qualified before we even look at accepting an offer. We want to see a pre-qualification letter to see if these people are for real or not. How many showings have you had on your property? How many offers have you received? Oh, no, we haven't gotten any offers yet. Well, you're demonstrating your value, okay? So the contracts, all these things, you got to demonstrate your value and your professionalism. Now, something that CB and I are running into across the board, multiple market centers, and that is that our clients are getting the impression with such low inventory that maybe they're better served going directly to the listing agent. Okay, so buyer's agents, if you haven't run into this, you will. Okay, so me personally, I've got a long time relationship with clients of mine. They've lived next door to me for 30 years. My kids call them aunt and uncle. I've been looking for the right property for them for 6 years. And they went out and bought a $1.3 million property, which is 4 times our average in this area, to give you some idea. So if you were looking at selling a $4 million place at the coast, and they just went directly to the listing agent because why would people do that? Because they feel like that's what is in the best interest of their family. Okay, because they've got to take care of their family, and we're not getting any properties. And so they went directly to the listing agent and wrote an offer before this property even hit the market. Now, I'm telling you this because we're running into situations, multiple situations where we have 2 KW agents, and let me tell you what happens every single time. The listing agent asks, have you been working with an agent? The buyer says, because they're thinking, you know what, I haven't gotten any properties with my buyer's agent. The buyer says, you know, not really. They haven't gotten back to me in quite a while. So the listing agent then proceeds to write an offer on the property, it gets accepted, and then the other agent calls me wanting a referral because that's their client, it's in their database.
We don't own people, man.
There you go. That's exactly it. You don't own people. Kevin Blaine, his team was doing 1,400 deals a year. We live in the same small town of 60,000 people. I'm the new kid on the block. Our sphere of influence is very similar, right? We overlap almost entirely. Everyone I know, Kevin's known his entire life. I sold Kevin's cousin a house. I called Kevin. I said, listen, I keep trying to refer them to you. They want to use me. He goes, Troy, here's the deal. You can't lose a client. If they're working with you, they're your client. You can't ever lose a client. Guys, I'm telling you this because we don't want the fighting, okay? We don't want the fighting. Every time the client's gonna come back and say to their person, because they want to make you the bad guy as the listing agent. They don't want to be the bad guy. Heck, your kids call them aunt and uncle, right?
Nobody wants to tell their agent the truth.
Right.
Nobody wants to say, you know, we just didn't think that you could get it done. We were worried that our offer wouldn't be accepted if we had you write it up, Luke. Ashley, so sorry, you know,
they're not going to say
we couldn't help ourselves. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, oh, well, Shannon said that the only way to get our offer accepted is if we wrote it with her.
That's almost word for word what they're going to say.
They're going to throw her right under the bus so that you don't hate them, right? That's just human nature.
4 calls in the last week, guys, 4 calls, 2 from agents outside Keller Williams and 2 from agents within Keller Williams on Keller Williams agents. And this is both at the coast and in the Central Valley. Guys, it's going to happen, okay? What I'm telling you as buyer's agents is be in front of your clients. Be contacting them every day. Have them on neighborhoods, have them on drip campaigns, in other words, through the smart plans in command.
And preempt that conversation. Explain to your buyer how this process works and that it really comes down to who brings the best offer. Let your buyers know that listing agents must present all offers, that they don't just kind of take some offers and throw them in the trash bin and only present the ones that they got. So if you have those conversations up front with your clients, they're not going to feel that urge to stray on you and then, you know, throw the other agent under the bus, because they're going to know you're going to have given them the confidence that you can get them the house that they want.
Right. Okay. But you're absolutely right, Jay. You can't own people. So, hey guys, guess what? Every single person you have in your database is in someone else's database too. I'm just telling you that. Probably multiple people's. So just be aware of that. It's the agent that takes the best care of their clients. And quite frankly, I'm that agent. I take the best care of my clients, and I still lost a very close one to me. Okay, that will happen. It will happen. So it's a discouraging part of this business, but I want to just prepare you for it. and to say that command is our best weapon against it, staying in front of people and putting them on the smart plans. Okay. So anyway, do we have any questions today for us? Any stump the broker questions that we can refer back to Jay, maybe on 1031 exchanges or something?
Well, tit for tat. I send problems to you. You send problems to me, man. Balance it
Yeah,
out.
that's right. That's right. No, you guys are doing great over there, man. You guys are doing fantastic. We
Thanks
love
for
seeing all the
being
good stuff you're doing.
And thanks for all of the edification, the wisdom, years of experience. And, we as individuals can't possibly even comprehend the amount of transactions you guys have seen and been around. So it is a birth of wisdom that takes decades and decades to acquire. So we're super glad you guys are here. Thank you both.
You bet.
All right, contracts is tomorrow, 1 o'clock, and that's with Troy, right? The win-win negotiations, right? Is that you?
Yeah, it's actually win-win negotiations. It'll be with Mr. CB Thompson tomorrow. He's going to teach you about winning in negotiating.
Win the deal. All
Yeah.
right. That's right. Cool. All right, so that's tomorrow, guys.
All right.
Greg, what else we got? Education, coaching, and training.
Awesome. Well, we have Thursday morning at 10 o'clock, 5 farming techniques to dominate any market. Doesn't matter what market you're in, 5 farming techniques to dominate. And that's at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning on KW Connect. And then at 1 o'clock, as you mentioned, win-win negotiations with CB Thompson. And that don't have to register for that class. Just go to contractskungfu.com. Next, we have Friday. Now, this is for agents, even if you don't understand social media, it's for everyone. Catch people in your web. Generate strong leads, even if you don't understand social media on KW Connect at 10 o'clock. And then next week, Monday, we start off the day with new to KW. And I'll be going over everything KW has to offer you at 11 o'clock. So from 11 to 1, let's learn everything about KW and a quick summary of command. And then we jump in at 1 o'clock on command contacts. And so Candace will be going over how to put a contact into command. And then, excuse me, how to put a contact in command. And then we're going to introduce you to neighborhoods. And that'll be at 1 o'clock on Monday. And then on Monday, let's see, Tuesday morning, we have scripts practice at 9 o'clock. Make sure you register in advance so I can send out the scripts for all the scripts practice that you want. So you pick the one you want. There's no particular script you have to bring with you. It's at 9 o'clock. And then at 10 o'clock, the power of a landing page and how command can give you the insights you need to run your business and also monitor what you are actually putting out on the web. So it's at 10 o'clock on KW Connect. And then at 1 o'clock, Brian Eisenhower is going to be going over the U.S. housing market update. That's for 2022. And that's going to be at 1 o'clock. And then I think we have one more thing on Wednesday. We have Mortgage 101 with Martin and Dawn. And that's going to be at 11 o'clock. And you'll be also having West Ventura County join in on this. So it's going to be Mortgage 101. That's this Wednesday. That's all I have, Jay.
All right, Mega Camp is coming up here August 23rd and 24th in Austin, Texas. If you've not been to a KW event, Mega Camp is one of the best you can attend. It's the brightest and best on stage, telling you how they do it, giving you the things that they stumbled on, all their tips and tricks. It's the single best KW event that I go to, and I recommend anybody that wants to take their business to the next level, attend. And Austin is a blast of a place to be. It is really a cool spot on this planet. And the information that you receive from this event is something that you'll be able to take home and implement in your business immediately. So kwevents.com, go to Mega Agent 2022 and register for that if you want to go. It's a great program. All right, anybody have needs or wants? Any listings coming up that we don't know about that you want to share, or something that's a bit on the market that you want to reshare?
I have a listing, Jay.
All right, Ashley, show us. What do you got?
Yes, on this.
Your helicopter in.
What?
You